Welcome to the worst of the best podcast. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't freaking make it. So here's what you get. From Canada, Ryan and
Jason.
Welcome, everyone, to the Worst of the Best podcast. I am your host, Ryan, and with me today, of course, is Jason, my brother. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. At the time of this recording, it's my time here in the Middle East while I'm on deployment. It's currently 8 in the morning, but for Jason, it's 9 at night. January 1st is the beginning of 2024. And Jason, 2023 has officially ended, and that means everyone that was able to die has died in 2023. The ballots are closed. The new year is opened. It's always exciting when the first death happens in the new year. Do you ever find that? Like, oh, who's going to be
well,
the first
we always message you.
What Jason was about to say, yeah, what we do throughout the whole year is every time a celebrity dies, it's almost like a race. Who can message the other one first to say a celebrity died? It's almost kind of a race who gets the news first, and we usually get kind of excited by it. Like, oh, can't wait to talk about that or talk about them. And here we go. So what we're doing with this list, I think this is the first time that I've gone by a month. I did a little bit of homework and was able to break down every notable celebrity by month. And keep in mind, folks, there are names on here that you're like, did you miss so-and-so? We may have kind of our criteria for Jason ourselves is some of these names might not even be as big as other names, according to you, the listener. They're names that we wouldn't have to necessarily Google to get their bio, like, oh, that guy. Okay, I enjoyed him or I enjoyed her. So it's names of people that were like, I know who they are without Googling them. I know who they are because I've seen a lot of their TV shows or movies by face or otherwise. So it's kind of like either by looking at their face, you're like, oh, that guy, or hearing their name, you're like, oh, that person. That's kind of how we're doing it. And I think we're going to do the same thing again, Jay. The criteria will be worst death will be one that kind of affected you the worst. Like, oh, that really sucks. So it's a really bad feeling. That sucks that person passed. And if we want to, it might not apply to every list every year. Sometimes it has, but who's the worst person? Like, who do we think might just be the worst person? Kind of like, I'm glad they're dead. Or I don't really care that they died because they're the worst person. Like one year we had, was it Castro, for example? We had 1 year. So it kind of goes without saying you could have somebody like, that might be the worst personality that died. I don't know if that list actually has that this year. We'll kind of go through it. It might not, but definitely there'll be a name or two that were, that one kind of stung. That one kind of stung, or that one was a hard one to say goodbye to. We have fun. We make fun. Obviously, we wish all their families and friends. We always say this, but we wish all their family and friends peace and throughout their mourning, throughout the year of their fathers, sisters, brothers, daughters. Obviously, we're not making light of death per se, but it's kind of like, you laugh and cry in life, right?
Yeah. Like I like the fact that we kind of joke that people are dying to get onto our podcast, and in reality, they kind of are. But we're not making fun of the person. It's just
well, some of them we might be. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, depending on who's on the list.
All right, so here we go, folks. Here is the list in January. Jason, here's a big name right away. The year kicked off strong, very strong.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
David Crosby. Really did. David Crosby. He's of course one of the most influential rock singers of the 60s and 70s. He's the American singer-songwriter, co-founded both the Byrds and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and later Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of both groups and also released several records as a solo performer. Crosby died at the healthy age of 81, so he lived a long life. It was following a long illness, which illness I don't know. With his wife, Jan, saying in a tribute, quote, although he's no longer here with us, his humanity and kind soul will continue to guide and inspire us. His legacy will continue to live on through his legendary music. Now, wasn't David Crosby one of the guys that was a donor to Melissa Etheridge? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he is. That's right.
His memory does live on.
Melissa Etheridge's child lost its father.
Yeah. So rest in peace to David Crosby. Of course, he had some great songs. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of his. He had a couple songs where, especially with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, there's some good rockers out there. Definitely, every attribute that's been thrown his way is well deserved. I just wasn't a big listener of his music per se, but
Yeah, exactly.
aware.
I mean,
aware
we
of
all
him.
we're very aware of who he is and his impact in the music industry, et cetera, et cetera. But wouldn't be the first person I would go to listen to.
And
And
81 again.
81, that's decent. That's decent.
It's a full life. It's a full life. Yeah. All right, Jay, you got the next one.
Another rocker, British rock icon Jeff Beck gained prominence with the Yardbirds, which is crazy. That's awesome. And later
Yeah.
carved a niche for himself as a solo artist, blending elements of hard rock, jazz, blues, and even opera. Recognized for his improvisational skills, Beck secured 8 Grammy Awards and, like Crosby, earned a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on 2 occasions. I'm not bound by conventions, Beck remarked about his musical approach. If I'm not pushing boundaries in every song, then I'm not doing it right. Tragically, Beck passed away at 78 due to a stubborn bout of bacterial meningitis, as announced by his family. Fellow musicians, including Gene Simmons from Kiss, Brian May from Queen, Rolling Stones, members Mick Jagger and Ronnie Wood, expressed their condolences and paid respects. And obviously,
Absolutely.
many more people did.
right,
I
of
mean,
course.
he's
Of course.
legendary guitarist.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, my big fandom with Jeff, this is kind of a deep pull and it's kind of odd if you're a Jeff Beck fan. I'm a huge Young Guns fan of those 2 films, right? I'm a huge fan of the films. Thus, I became a huge fan of John Bon Jovi's solo album for the Young Guns 2 soundtrack. So John Bon Jovi did a full album of music for that film, like an actual album. And he hired Jeff Beck to play guitar on that album. Jeff Beck's guitar playing on that album it's an absolute highlight, other than, of course, John's great singing, but Jeff Beck added his signature sounds to that solo album. So it's kind of a great collab in my books. You have Jeff Beck, John Bon Jovi on the Young Guns 2 soundtrack. So that was my introduction to Jeff Beck as a kid.
And I think that's the best music John Bon Jovi has done, to be honest.
Oh, come on now. Come on. It's a great album. I love it.
It is
there's some solid.
album.
There's some solid Bon Jovi albums. Come on.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay, so remember, it's just a coincidence I'm wearing this shirt. But remember, Jeff Beck was supposed to play at the Paris concert with Guns N' Roses, that big pay-per-view live concert. Now it's like over YouTube for free. They were practicing Locomotive. He's going to be playing on the song Locomotive.
Oh, interesting.
Matt Sorum hit one of the cymbals right beside Jeff Beck's ear. And I think it blew his eardrum. And so he couldn't perform. Yeah, he couldn't perform that night because of the cymbal crash.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was a fluke thing. And apparently Jeff was pissed. Like he left. It wasn't like, oh, I get it.
It's
Accidents
annoying.
happen. Yeah, like that was not that he wasn't going to perform, but I think he was just literally mad at Matt Sorum.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oof. I think I remember that. I'll have to Google that after.
Yeah, I might be wrong. Maybe my memory, but I'm pretty sure he was supposed to. I think Axl actually commented that in that concert that he was going to be there, but had to leave.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No, that's an interesting story, and thank you for sharing. Yeah, I seem to kind of recall something like that, and boy, yeah, he would have been like 40-something at the time, or 50, so that's interesting. Okay, Lisa Marie Presley, Jay. Lisa Marie was the only daughter of the king of rock and roll, Elvis.
That we know
of. Lisa Marie inherited her father's iconic Graceland estate and appeared destined for musical greatness. She carved out her own path in the entertainment world, achieving 2 top US 10 albums and gaining the attention for her marriages, of course, to Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage. Do you remember that she was married to both guys at some point?
I forgot about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. However, her life was marked by significant hardships, including the heartbreaking loss of her own son in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Presley passed away at 54 after experiencing cardiac arrests at her residence in California. Her mother, Priscilla, remembered her as the most passionate, strong, and loving woman she's ever known. Obviously, it's 54. Come on. That's
way young.
Yeah, it's only 4 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously, I would suspect, probably unhealthy living. Yeah. I would suspect like a heart attack. That's what cardiac arrest. Her heart stops at 54. I don't think she was overweight. So
could be a side effect of a certain.
We got to be careful. Yeah, we don't want to get demonetized on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I need the money from this channel to.
Oh yeah, man, the big
make
views.
My car payments. So at her funeral, coincidental, I'm wearing this shirt. Like it's just a weird. I have not worn anything with patterns or anything. It's the first time I've ever worn this shirt. Actually, I got it from the Vancouver show. It's the first time I've put it on. But Axl Rose was friends with her, and her favorite song was November Rain. And Axl performed that song at her funeral and gave a small eulogy or like a small remembrance or whatever statement at the funeral as well, and then went to play November Rain, just him on the piano.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
I saw it. I watched it
yeah,
on
it was
YouTube.
quite an emotional. He actually seemed pretty choked up. The first couple of lines, he was kind of struggling.
You know what? It feels like that was longer ago. That was only in 23. I feel like that performance was like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know why that is. That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at the
Hey.
beginning of the year, but still. No, that's very cool. I wonder
Yeah,
if there'll be any more Axel connections by the time we get to the end of this list.
I think that might be it. The fact that there's 2 in 1 month is pretty unique. Anyway, yeah, Julian Sands, Yorkshire actor. Julian Sands was renowned for her performances in movies like A Room with a View, Arachnophobia, Leaving Las Vegas, and Warlock. He also made notable TV appearances in shows such as 24, Smallville, and Banshee. An avid hiker and mountaineer, the 65-year-old went missing in January 2023 after embarking on a trek in California's San Gabriel Mountains near Mount Baldy. It wasn't until June that his demise was confirmed upon the discovery of his remains. In a 2020 interview, Sands expressed his profound joy in being near a mountain peak on a crisp, chilly morning. The actor, known for his endearing, quirky, and courageous spirit, passed away while pursuing his great passion.
That's kind
Yikes.
of crazy. So 65 is not young, but it's not old. It's at just the start of your senior citizen year. He was, very healthy looking 65-year-old, a very nice guy. You'd recognize his face if you saw it, Jay. If you Googled his face, you'd recognize. He's a character actor. I recognized him right away. I wouldn't be able to name him. These are one of those ones where, that's his name, but you've seen him in so much stuff. And I just also found his passing very unique. I don't think we usually get ones like this where you get actors lost in the mountains. This was a unique one, but I definitely saw him on 24. I watched that whole series. I watched Smallville. I watched that whole series.
yeah.
I watched Arachnophobia.
Yeah, I
I
recognize him.
watched, there you go, Leaving Las Vegas. And he was great in Warlock. That's a great campy 80s horror movie. So yeah, he's a great actor and probably a really nice guy. And he just liked being out in the mountains, and something must have happened where, did it say how he might have died? Was he lost? Did he break an ankle? You know what I mean? Couldn't move. It's weird that he would just die in the woods.
They don't know. The condition of his body was too, I guess, deteriorated. I mean,
Yeah.
January to June, right? It's a long time.
Yeah. He might even just had a heart attack himself. He
Exactly.
been hiking and just his heart stopped from exertion, and there's nobody there to resuscitate. And then there's no way to determine at this point, how
What
his
I
heart
find
stopped.
what I find interesting is that no one saw his body for that long. It's not like he was probably following a trail that hikers found his
It's
body.
weird.
Did nobody know
He
where
might have been
he
off the
went?
trail,
Like,
maybe. Or might have been a side trail. Who knows, right? Maybe an off beaten path type trail that only a few people will walk. Who knows? Yeah, it is odd. You're right. Okay, now that was January. We're now into February. So of course we've all heard this name, Jay. This was another big name in the music industry. A lot of big music ones. Burt Bacharach. Of course, he's recognized as one of the premier songwriters of the 20th century. He's crafted over 500 songs throughout a career spanning 7 decades. These songs were performed by more than 1,200 artists, including classics like Magic Moments, I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, I Say a Little Prayer, Walk On By, and Close to You, among others. Beyond his songwriting prowess, Bacharach showcased his talent as a piano player. He clinched 6 Grammy Awards and 3 Oscars. That's legit.
Yeah.
Shortly after
Oh.
Bacharach's passing at the ripe old age of 94, full life, tributes poured in from various artists, with Noel Gallagher penning "Rest in Peace, Maestro. It was a joy to have known you." So there you go. That's Noel Gallagher, of course, from the band Oasis. Burt Bacharach, huge name in the music industry. It goes without saying. 94, though, that's almost a century of life.
Can we also appreciate his acting chops?
Wasn't it Austin Powers?
Austin Powers
That's right.
on the double-decker bus.
That's right. And just to think back then, that was 30 years ago almost, if you can believe it. That's how long Austin Powers came out, almost 25 years ago. So he would have been
Wow.
like 70-something in that clip. But yeah, that's funny. Good stuff. Mr. Burt Bacharach, full life there. All right, so that's the only big notable name out of February, Jay.
Yeah, okay, so we're into March. Actor Lance Reddick gained prominence for his portrayal in the acclaimed crime series The Wire, set in his hometown of Baltimore and spending 5 seasons from 2002 to 2008. Additionally, Reddick made notable appearances in the John Wick film series opposite Keanu Reeves and lent his voice to Commander Zavala in the popular Destiny video game franchise. Tragically, he passed away unexpectedly at 60, prompting heartfelt tributes from his family and colleagues from The Wire, remembering him as a man of remarkable strength and elegance.
So again, if you Googled his name, Jay, you'd recognize him. Great actor. I was a huge fan of The Wire. The Wire is an incredible show. I can't believe that came out 22 years ago, premiere season. So if you like crime, drama, shows, The Wire is an incredible. I think it even holds up now. Other than the technology used in the show, you know what I mean? The drama of that show was amazing. One of the best written shows ever to grace television. He was amazing in it. He was a very healthy guy. Like I don't know what happened to him at 60. He just died unexpectly.
Yeah, here we go.
Issue?
Yeah. No. Ischemic heart disease and atherosclerotic coronary artery disease.
Maybe he ate poorly, but again, he's very fit and strong. If you see him,
look at him. Very
healthy looking guy.
Some medications might not mix well with the heart.
Yeah.
And if you have underlying issues that you're unaware of, certain medications might.
Yeah. And he's also on a popular show that I love as well, Bosch. If you don't watch Bosch, guys, another great show. So this is a guy that I've enjoyed legit. So,
yeah, I recognize him. What other movies or roles? Like, I feel like he was...
Well, the John Wicks are big. He was in the Bosch TV series. He was also on the TV show Fringe. Like, he's been on some major television shows. He's just one of those...
was he on Lost?
Oh, actually, no, you're right, Jay.
That's where I recognize him from. Yes, he's that guy.
I forgot about him.
Yes. That's where I recognize him. That the very thin, Yeah, he was on Law. You're right, Jay. He was on. Boy, he was also in Oz. This guy's been on legit shows. So yeah, this is a big. That's what I mean. Like again, one of those actors where you might not know his name when you say the name, but you see like his work is amazing. So big loss to the acting world, right? Only 60. He's going to have another 20 years of acting. So wow. Okay. That's a big name on the list there. I truly enjoyed him. And I think this is for me, quite frankly, I'm not going to lie to you, as the year went on, this was a name when this happened. I was like, ooh, I like this guy. So his passing was quite, it's like, ooh, that sucks. In Lost, he was way later in the series, and he had a very smaller kind of part, but a very intriguing, mysterious part to it.
That's funny. I got to watch that show again. I think that show deserves a rewatch.
That's a great show. Kind of way it wrapped up. Maybe everybody talks about that, but I mean, it's regardless. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I hate it when people don't punish the whole series because of a couple of bad episodes. Sure, it might not have ended as strong as people wanted, but the journey's still amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is a name that, of course, we all know.
Yeah. Tom
Sizemore. He was the American actor known for his intense performances in films like Saving Private Ryan, Heat, Black Hawk Down. Born November 29th in 1961 in Detroit, Sizemore carved a niche for himself with roles that showcase his versatility and intensity. Over his career, he has graced both television and film, becoming recognized for his powerful on-screen presence. Despite personal demons, Sizemore's talent has cemented his place as a notable figure in Hollywood. So he died in 61 in 2023. So he died at the age of 62, obviously too young. I think for him, it's pretty obvious. I think it was
heart failure,
but he also abused
caused by a brain aneurysm.
I think he wasn't very healthy living throughout his years. I think he's been clean, sober. Yeah. A great actor. Like when you see him in films, this guy can act. He was just.
I know it's too bad there wasn't more of him. Honestly, I wish there was more roles where he could have been showcased a little bit more often.
Yeah, I think it might have been his reliability on set that caused some. Because when you're on drugs and stuff, that happened to Robert Downey Jr.'s career, for example. Interesting enough, before he cleaned himself up, they would actually withhold his pay until the film was done as insurance that he would finish the film. So Tom Sizemore might have had the same issue. So rest in peace, Tom. That was a big name too. So that was one of the bigger names. Because that's definitely I didn't have to Google or anything. When you hear Tom Sizemore, I knew exactly who that was right away. Yeah, so that's a big name for me. Okay, now we're into April, Jay. Another big name. Boy, what do you got here?
Yeah, this is from our childhood, eh?
Yeah.
Known for the Jerry Springer Show, which captivated audiences with its mix of unconventional content like strippers, food fights, confrontations, Jerry Springer viewed his television venture as a counterculture stance against societal elites. He concluded each episode with the iconic phrase, "Take care of yourselves and each other." Spanning 27 seasons and close to 5,000 episodes from 1991 to 2018, the show's popularity even birthed Jerry Springer, the opera, and the UK adaptation in 1999. Additionally, Too Hot for TV videos and DVDs emerged from its content. In 2019 interview with Sky News, Springer stood by his show's participants, often labeled as trash, emphasizing their relatability as ordinary individuals caught in extraordinary circumstances. Springer passed away at 79 after battling cancer. Talk show host Ricky Lake fondly remembered him as sorry.
Yeah, Ricky Lake, I know. Bless her.
Of all the people you want to fondly remember you,
Yeah, sure.
remembered him as both a competitor and friend, emphasizing his genuine and kind nature.
He seems like a nice guy. Every time you see him in interviews or talk, he seems like a genuine guy. I love it when you watch Jerry, how he approached the chaos with such professional demeanor. It's like a zoo is around him. Is like, I don't know how much of it's scripted or reality or both, but the idea of how he played that role of, oh, I can't believe we're dealing with this kind of thing, or how he was, I don't know how the word is, like Walter Cronkite-ish about these things in his
Yeah, I can just visualize it with his arms folded with the microphone. Yeah. Like meanwhile, two people are beating the crap out of each other. And he's just like, okay, we'll just wait for this. And then his like off-duty police officers all rush the stage to separate everybody.
And he got his own TV show as well. That police officer,
the one
bodyguard,
wasn't he a mayor or something? Am I misremembering? I think that's
no. I think Jerry Springer was a mayor for a bit.
Yeah, that's why he had the police presence. He was able to tap into those. Like that was a legit relationship.
Yeah, he's the former mayor of Cincinnati. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not a small city, Jay. He served as the 56th mayor of Cincinnati from 77 to 78. That's legit. Good for him.
Yeah.
That's fun. I did not know that trivia, actually.
It's funny how small, like little pieces of trivia stick. Like, why would I remember that? I don't know, but
that's a big name there. Boy, we got some big names here. And so far, no one. Well, I don't want to give it anyway. So far, there's no like I'm glad they're. You know what I mean? There's no good personalities of people. So
he always seemed like even though his show was kind of chaos and it had some maybe, but
deplorable topics.
He himself off camera or what, seemed, he knew what he was doing. But I think
he was pretty scandal free.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Like, I don't recall any kind of scandals with him. Do you recall anything, people not liking him or any kind of scandals or lawsuits? Or it seemed like he lived a pretty clean life that way. Yeah, he was a Democrat. He has one child. He was married to Mickey Velton from 73 to 94. I guess when Jerry Springer kind of took off, I'm looking at his wife there that he was married to for a bit there. She looks cute.
He left his whole estate to his two children.
Wow. All good for them. Not really young, not really old. It was cancer that got him, though. Well, 79 is getting up there, but it was cancer. That's unfortunate.
Pancreatic.
Okay. Oof. Yeah. All right. Now we're to May, Jason. This is the only name we have in May, but boy, this name is all you need for 1 month, quite frankly. Tina Turner. Yeah. Dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, mesmerized audiences with her electrifying stage presence and iconic voice over decades. In the 60s, she soared to stardom alongside her former spouse, Ike, producing hits like River Deep, Mountain High, Proud Mary, and Nutbush City Limits. Later, Turner courageously addressed the domestic abuse she endured, setting a pivotal precedent for openness. Challenging ageist notions in the 80s, Tina staged a triumphant solo comeback, delivering global hits like This Is What We Knew as Kids, Jay, Private Dancer, We Don't Need Another Hero, What's Love Got to Do With It, and her signature song, The Best. Now, those are just wicked songs. And when Tina Turner passed, I admit, I did a YouTube dive for about a week. I was watching this comeback tour or this triumphant solo tour, and I wouldn't even call it a comeback per se, but
it's a reemergence.
Reemergence is a better word. Yeah, and she was on stage at the age of 45, I think it was. Incredibly sexy. I mean, you could see why. Her power and her voice, and her legs, and the way you could just tell she was just a powerful woman. And but her singing, her live singing was legit. She just bellowed, and she was playing with Bryan Adams. Watch that performance, and just how cool. And Bryan Adams was like 22 or 3 when he performed with Tina, if you can believe it. He was young. But anyways, it was just so cool, and you get why she was just so much fun to watch. But
and the Mad Max Thunderdome.
Yeah, she did it because apparently she was just one of the weaker of the films, but still I forget what she said, but I remember she said something to the effect of why she wanted to do it and play a bad person. I think she just wanted to be around Mel too, as a part of it too. Mel Gibson, of course, being the heartthrob that he was. Yeah, her life journey inspired the 93 biopic with Angela Bassett, great actress, which clinched 3 Oscars and was further celebrated in the West End production. So she did die, Jason, at the age of 83. So not young. I mean, she lived a full life. She died in Switzerland at her home in Switzerland. She's been there for quite a while. She went there for the very reason you could think of, just to be alone. Not alone, but to be away. I think this is a place of peace for her. out of all the
Fair enough.
chaos and paparazzi. And yeah, Mick Jagger, Elton John, and Diana Ross were one of the many that honored her as a legendary presence, both in recordings and live performances. This is an artist from our parents' day, Jay. This is an artist that our parents loved when they were young adults themselves, right? That's how we kind of got into them. Mom and dad were listening to Tina Turner at home type thing. So this was an artist that was played in our home as kids. She was a big presence.
Yeah, I remember that big year, that whatever year that was, that album was that one main album, like the Reemergence, Private Dancer.
Yeah.
And her performances, I guess it might be the American Music Awards or the Grammys, just be blown away by her stage presence and her strength. It seemed like kind of like it shouldn't work with teenage boys, but you couldn't deny her.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I liked her. Like, I liked what she was doing. I mean, we're listening to Twisted Sister or, Iron Maiden or whatever. And then also Tina Turner. It's just, she's an impossible force to ignore. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. All Ike had to do, man, all he had to do was not beat her up and just enjoy the gravy train, brother. Like, what an idiot. Number one for doing the domestic abuse. I think Ike was one of our celebrity death episodes, I think, in recent years.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
So.
Tina, rest in peace. Powerful voice, powerful celebrity presence, and rest in peace. Big, big name. Jason, almost as big as Tina. What do you got in June here, brother?
This is awesome. The Iron Sheik. Now, anybody our age will know exactly who the Iron Sheik is. I mean, what a presence in the WWF.
Take a stab at his birth name?
I'm going to have to. Born Hossein Khosrow Ali Vaziri.
Hussein Khosrow Ali Waziri.
On March 15th, 1942, in Iran, gained fame as a professional wrestler in the 1970s and 80s. Before entering the wrestling world, Vaziri had an accomplished amateur wrestling background, even representing Iran in the Olympics. Adopting the persona of the Iron Sheik, he became known for his fierce in-ring style and was notably crowned the WWF Heavyweight Champion in 1983. Beyond wrestling, the Iron Sheik has remained a colorful figure, gaining attention for his outspoken personality and presence in pop culture. And we cannot forget, what was the name of his signature move, Ryan?
I forget.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
The camel clutch.
That's right. The camel clutch. Well, how did it go again? I don't remember. What was it?
I remember. I remember
the backwards.
Okay. No. So the person's lying on their stomach on the mat, and he would go over top of them and grab their heads and then bend them backwards.
That's right.
Like he would sit on like the back of the small of their back and lean back, yanking on them. Just pulling their head up from the
That's right. Just breaking their neck, just tearing their necks off. Yeah. the camel clutch. Come on. That's funny.
Do they have camels in Iran? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen him on the Howard Stern show.
I don't know about the Iron Stern show, but I have seen him like in the more recent years. Like he's still in character.
I think that's what he's like. I think he's kind of crazy. He's kind of nuts. And that's what we love about him. He was nuts. Got to give him full credit. He was the one that, what do you call it? Not when you turn somebody over, when wrestling is a term. When you lift somebody up in the fandom. He lost the belt to Hogan in 83. So it was Hogan that beat the Sheik for the belt. And that catapulted Hogan's career. I forget what the term is. It's escaping my brain right now. Put somebody over. I got it. That's right. He put Hogan over in 83. So that's a huge moment. But he hated Hulk Hogan. The Iron Sheik hated him in real life. And that's part of his outspoken personality that we're talking about. So the Iron Sheik, absolutely colorful character, incredible wrestler. I loved his physique, that big, bulbous, strong physique that he had.
I'm looking. He's a big dude.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
I don't know.
And you wouldn't want to mess with him in real life. If he was like 40 years old, and you met him in a back alley, I wouldn't tangle with him. No way, man. Yeah. Iron Sheik, rest in peace, brother. 81. That's not bad. That's a good long life.
I have to give, I guess it's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, you got to give him credit for giving somebody like the Iron Sheik the belt.
Yeah.
Because he was, his rhetoric was very anti-American.
Oh,
of course, he was the
heel, anti-American.
Right? And he was always the heel.
Yeah. Never a good guy. Never a good guy.
And that was the thing, right? Between him and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's like this pro-American, the Eagles and flying and the American flag and all the rest. And then you have the opposite with the Iron Sheik. And the relationships between Iran and the U.S. has not improved.
No.
But to give that person, that type of character, the belt, is pretty smart marketing. Pretty smart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fun stuff. Iron Sheik. That's it for June, Jay. Okay, I've got July. This is a big name from our youth and what
Yeah,
have
it's
you.
very
This is a
big,
very big
sadly.
name. Irish vocalist Sinead O'Connor gained widespread recognition with her 1990 hit "Nothing Compares to You," propelling her to international fame, partly due to its iconic music video. Of course, if you remember, it's just her face right in the middle of the screen singing that song. Beyond her musical prowess, O'Connor has renowned for her candid perspectives on topics like religion, war, and feminism. Everyone remembers, and Jay, you and I watched this live when it happened on TV.
Oh yeah.
We were
Yeah.
big Saturday Night Live viewers at the time in 1992. She tore a photo of Pope John Paul II, highlighting concerns about the Catholic Church handling of abuse. Throughout her illustrious career, she produced 10 studio albums and earned 8 Grammy nominations, securing a win for the 91 alternative musical performance with "I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got."
I had the tape for sure.
Yeah.
Even heard the album before that.
Yeah, she passed away at 56, confirmed by her family, prompting tributes from artists like Bryan Adams and Ian Brown, along with Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar.
She ended up living a
Yeah,
very
troubled.
sad,
Yeah. Mental health.
conflicting life. It's really unfortunate because she could have, if it wasn't for those issues, she had so much professional opportunities, but the mental illness and the struggles with that, and with her children, I know there's just so much going on in her life. It's very, very, very sad. And you know what's actually kind of sad too is how much she tried to reach out for help in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And it felt like those cries, at least it seems, and I don't want to speak for people, but it seems like she was just kind of left to struggle on her own in many ways.
Yeah. She was ostracized a little bit, I think.
Ostracized by that's. I'm not talking about her family. I'm sure her family did the best they could to help her as best they can. I'm talking about kind of like the public in general. She kind of was.
Well,
just
that Pope
dropped.
thing really upset all the Catholics.
And
There's some.
Exactly. But when she died, then you get all these tributes.
Right.
I'm like, are you giving her that reassurance when she is around?
Yeah.
Does she feel that when, maybe she did, maybe she didn't recognize it? Like, I just don't know. But I feel sad
Good questions.
how much people love her, appreciate her, and then are very sad when, she passed.
Well said, yeah.
But I wonder if she ever understood or felt that from them when she was around. I don't know. That's a tough one. I love her music. I listened to that tape many times.
Yeah. Now, her cause of death remains undisclosed. She was, however, found unresponsive at her residence in London, and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
She has threatened, suicide many times, so it's probably happened this time.
I think it was something self-inflicted to a degree. Yeah. Sad, obviously. I think it's mental health. I think that's obvious. I think she had her own mental demons. It's sad because it affects everything. Okay. Well, a lot of music, Jay. You got the next one. A lot of music people this year.
Yeah. Renowned pop and jazz vocalist Tony Bennett collaborated with icons from Frank Sinatra to Lady Gaga, selling millions of records worldwide and securing 20 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement accolade. Emerging as one of America's eminent crooners, Bennett launched his debut album in 1952 during his mid-20s and consistently charted in the U.S. throughout subsequent decades. Sinatra hailed him as the best singer in the business, a title Bennett upheld even into his 90s, continuing performing despite an Alzheimer's diagnosis. Boasting over 70 albums, Bennett holds a unique record. His albums charted in the U.S. during every decade from the 50s to the 2020s. In 2014, he surpassed his own record as the oldest living artist to top the weekly Billboard 200 album chart. At 96, Bennett's passing prompted tributes from peers like Lady Gaga, who fondly recalled their collaborations, performances, and shared moments.
Full life. I mean, you can't get much more forward than that. Like, I wasn't, of course, a 20-minute fan, but
we all know who he is, and exactly.
He's a little bit out of our age group, a little bit, and my style of music as well. But he lived to 96, saw a whole, think of all the musical genres he lived through.
Exactly. I mean, he's been around our whole life. Like, he's been like
in our parents' life, let's say. Like, he was alive before our parents were born. Like, that's a full life, man.
Wow.
And
20 years before our parents.
Yeah, so that's crazy. So he's been around. That's a big name, of course, in the industry. Not much more to say other than that. Like, I didn't personally listen to his music, but everything that you said there, Jason, can't be denied. Incredible records that he held for himself. And I don't think anyone's going to beat that for the oldest charted I don't know if that's ever going to be beat.
No, I don't think so. With the way the music industry is today, there's no one that can last that long anymore, sadly, for the most part.
And then chart at the same time. All right, the last one for the month of another big name in July. This was a big name, obviously one that we didn't have to Google either to know who this was. Paul Rubens. Born Paul Rubenfeld on August 27, 1952 in Peekskill, New York. He's an actor, writer, comedian, best recognized, of course, for his iconic character, Pee Wee Herman. Rubens gained widespread acclaim with his unique childlike Pee Wee persona, which debuted in the 80s through stage performances. Now, I don't know if people know this, but those early stage performances were adult in nature. So he played of course, a young kid-like personality, but he would have adult humor at the time.
Yeah.
It was later toned down to create TV specials and films like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Playhouse. And did you ever watch Pee-wee's Playhouse? That was such a fun show, man. Word of the Day and all those characters and the couch that talked and the mailman that came by. And well, it's funny. I kind of had a resurgence for a little bit there. I bought the DVDs. My older sons, when they were young, I bought the DVDs for them to watch. They loved it as kids. Yeah.
Okay.
They just thought it was so crazy. And I watched it with them. It was just so much fun to watch. It really was.
He was fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And now beyond the Pee-wee persona, Rubens also showcases versatility in various film and television roles, demonstrating his comedic prowess and creative range. Of course, there's that big controversy in his career, but despite that, Rubens' contribution to pop culture remains indelible, especially with his unforgettable character, Pee Wee Herman. I think his whole career was wrecked by that one stupid thing. Yeah, so dumb. I love how Hollywood points the finger at shame. Like, really, Hollywood?
I know.
Yeah, they're such clean living people. Come on.
I hear you. 70. He never seemed old to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I know. He did like his character recently too before his death. And he just seemed still that young, same character. Yeah.
If you had to guess, right? Well, he died of cancer, sadly. And so that will take him a little bit earlier than, anybody would like. But I would never have guessed he was 70. Never.
I know. I might have still said 55 or something.
Me too.
Got to be 55.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, sad. That was one for me too. I was like, oh man, that's a name. That's a name I know.
Yeah, and I think it's because he always felt young.
Yeah,
so to hear that he died, and then it's like 70. Oh man, I thought he sounds like he's 40 something years old. So whatever he did for his skin, it worked.
Right. That's funny.
So we don't have anything here in August.
No, nothing in August. No, I looked. Let us know who we missed in August. If you think we missed somebody big like that in August, let us know. But we're going to September now.
Okay. Sir Michael Gambon, an esteemed actor, began his illustrious journey as an original member of the Royal National Theatre in the 1960s, sharing the stage with luminaries like Laurence Olivier. Over his expansive career, Gambon showcased his talent in notable films such as The King's Speech, Gosford Park, and Paddington. His television credits include portraying French detective Jules Maigret and featuring in the BBC's acclaimed series The Singing Detective. However, Gambon achieved widespread recognition for his portrayal of Hogwarts headmaster Dumbledore in several Harry Potter films. He assumed the role from Richard Harris, starting with The Prisoner of Azkaban, and continued through Deathly Hallows Part 2. Following his passing at 82, fans fondly remembered him, urging fellow enthusiasts to honor his memory by raising their wands.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember this on social media. Of course, all the big Harry Potter fans. That's where he became like a super national star, right?
Well,
if you're the Harry Potter films, you're
a household name.
Yeah. He paid his dues and all these other projects that you're talking about. But yes, it was the Harry Potter films that made him a worldwide known face and name. So his passing really affected a lot of Harry Potter fans, and myself included, because he was great in those films as Dumbledore. So both headmasters that played Dumbledore have passed away now, Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. That's a big name, but it was 82 again, full life.
Yeah. So they ask you to play Dumbledore, you should say no?
Probably. Yeah, no kidding. Another big name in the music industry, Jay, Jimmy Buffett. He was born Christmas Day, 1946. Of course, he's the renowned American singer-songwriter, musician, and entrepreneur, known for his unique blend of country rock and Gulf and Western music. Rising to fame in the 70s, Buffett became synonymous with the laid-back tropical vibe, often referred to as Margaritaville, a term derived from his iconic song. Throughout his career, Jimmy Buffett has released numerous albums with hits such as Cheeseburger in Paradise, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, and the perennial favorite Margaritaville. Beyond music, he also authored best-selling books, including Tales from Margaritaville and A Pirate Looks at 50. Additionally, Buffett has ventured into business, notably the Margarita.
He's milking a margarita.
Notably, the Margaritaville brand that encompasses restaurants, hotels, and merchandise, further solidifying his status as a culture icon associated with leisure escapism, and island-themed entertainment. Jimmy Buffett, his big hit was Margaritaville, and he just squeezed every ounce of water out of that stone. Made millions out of it. Good for him. Again, a name we know. We never followed his career, but a big icon, as we just stated, in the music industry. He's kind of like a silly version of Tony Bennett.
Yes. So here's another singer. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I did not know about this.
You don't remember this
No.
passing?
Yeah, Steve Harwell, born January 9th, 1967 in Santa Clara, California, is best recognized as the lead vocalist for the rock band Smash Mouth. Rising to prominence in the late 1990s, Smash Mouth achieved widespread fame with hits like All Star, Walking on the Sun, and Then the Morning Comes. Smash Mouth's distinct blend of ska, punk, and pop rock resonated with audiences, earning the band multiple platinum records and significant mainstream success. Beyond their musical contributions, Smash Mouth's tracks became anthems for various films and cultural moments, solidifying their place in pop culture. While Harwell's journey with Smash Mouth has been a highlight of his career, he remains a notable figure in the alternative rock scene, known for his charismatic stage presence and distinctive voice that define an era of upbeat, infectious tunes.
How did he die?
Yeah, that was young.
Yeah, he died from liver failure. So that tells you something. If you die of liver failure at the age of 56, something tells me you're probably drinking.
I wonder if he was drinking on the job. That's crazy. How old?
56.
56. Sheepers.
It's obviously young. So if you're dying of alcohol overdose, essentially, again, that's probably mental health, depression, just a connection. Yeah, alcoholism. It's sad for his friends and family. He might have been a father. I'm not even sure. That being said, it sucks. So obviously he provided a lot of joy for a lot of people. I mean, of course, the Shrek moment, Shrek opens that movie. That's their song. And some of the culture icons are talking about there.
Acute liver failure.
I'm just guessing. I shouldn't say I'm not a doctor, but would that...
I'm going to guess that's alcohol poisoning of some sort.
Oh, poor guy. What a troubled life. And this might be some of the cause of his drinking. Maybe. I'm speculating. He actually had a kid who died at the age of 6 months due to lymphonic leukemia. Oof,
I'm just reading
that was
this
22
too.
years ago. So he would have been in his early 30s. I wonder if, that could affect your mental health, right? Who knows? He never remarried or had more children after that. Kind of connect the dots, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm speculating, but you wonder if you connect those dots. Okay. Sad, obviously. And speaking of hard living affecting a young death, Jay, in October, we had Matthew Perry. Of course, he gained global recognition for his portrayal of Chandler in the iconic 90s show Friends. Away from the limelight, however, Perry did courageously address his personal struggles with addiction. He released a memoir in 2022, just a year before his death, called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. He committed to making a difference. He advocated for others grappling with similar challenges. In one interview, Perry emphasized, while Friends is a significant part of my story, my true passion lies in helping others. Addiction is daunting, but with collective effort, we can overcome its grasp. However, at the age of 54, he passed away. Foundation was established in Perry's memory, aiming to continue his mission of supporting others who battle addiction. His friends, co-stars collectively expressed, quote, beyond our on-screen bond, we formed an enduring family. At the age of 54, Matthew Perry. I don't know if you saw any of his recent interviews. He really messed himself up. Like, it's sad.
I know.
Because he was so much fun and energy on that show, Friends. Like, I loved him on Friends. Of course, everyone did. I mean, I actually enjoyed that show. He was great comedic value on that show. Was amazing.
To be honest, I never watched the show. I know who he is, and I've seen snippets enough. I get the whole thing and why he would be adored by so many people. But the one movie that I really liked him in, which I wish I could see more of him acting this way, was in The Whole 9 Yards with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, agreed.
I really liked that movie. It's a fun movie. It's a funny movie. And I loved the way he played that character, which I'm sure is it similar to his character in Friends?
Yeah, kind of same. Yeah, it's kind of like you see Robin Williams is kind of Robin Williams. And that goes for a lot of actors. Their way of acting. Yeah. It's funny enough. He joins Chris Farley. They were in a film together, if you remember, in the early 90s. Chris Farley, Matthew Perry, I think it was called, weren't they in a film together?
I don't know.
But it's just interesting how both of them struggled.
His death was acute effects of ketamine. So he was on ketamine when he died. That just came out more recently.
The movie was 1998, Jay, if you can believe it. It's called Almost Heroes. It was right before Farley's death. So it's interesting how both of them died from their own struggles with addiction. And there's actually an interview you can watch on the Stephen Colbert Show where Matthew Perry addresses and he speaks candidly about his struggle with addictions and also talks about Chris Farley's struggle with addiction. So it's just ironic and sad that both died because of those addictions. I mean, he died in his hot tub, but I suspect he probably had some sort of heart failure or some sort of fainting spell, right? And slipped into the hot tub and drowned.
Yeah, it was ketamine, acute effects of ketamine. So ketamine is a
what kind of drug is that?
very powerful drug.
Okay, big names. This is big names this month in October. Oh, by the way, Matthew Perry actually died on my birthday. By the way, I'm going to be forever marred by that. Remember my birthday, October 28th. Yeah, I enjoyed Matthew Perry. He was definitely someone I truly enjoyed. I got laughs out of through movies and TVs. He made me laugh as an entertainer. He entertained me, and his loss sucks. It's not good. He was young, and if he had stayed healthy and strong, he could have provided comedy. Like you said, we didn't get more of those films, Jay, because of his struggles with addiction. He's another one of these actors like Tom Sizemore, who wasn't able to do more films because of his liability issues and then his health issues. And he just looked, I hate to say, he didn't look good because of his addictions later.
I was shocked at how.
Yeah, he looks terrible. I hate to say it. It really affected his speech. It almost like he had a stroke the way he spoke. Yeah, it's too bad.
Ketamine is an anesthetic to induce loss of consciousness. So he could have done that and then fell into the tub, like you were mentioning. But it also has very strong hallucinogenic properties. It can incapacitate and cause short-term memory loss, often used as a date rape drug. It's off-label uses to help with depression. I've heard of people having horrible, disassociated, bad, scary dream and hallucinations, similar to LSD and PCP. So it's a powerful drug. If you're prescribed ketamine for anything, make sure it's the only option available to you, because I've heard horrible things about it. Why he was on it, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, sad.
Probably not legally prescribed to him, but all right. Well, I'm kind of glad I got this one. Burt Young. He was born Gerald Tommaso.
This is mine.
Oh, is this yours or is this mine? Sorry, am I reading yours? I apologize.
No, you just did Matthew Perry.
No, you go ahead and read it. You go ahead and read it. By all means.
I'll read it. Oh, hey, the next one isn't too bad to read either, so I'll read this one.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Burt Young, born Gerald Tommaso DeLuise on April 30th, 1940 in Queens, New York, is an acclaimed actor, American actor, best known for his iconic role as Paulie in the Rocky film series. Young's portrayal of Paulie, the brother-in-law of Sylvester Stallone's character, resonated with audiences and became a staple character throughout the franchise. Beyond a standout role in the Rocky series, Young has showcased his acting versatility in various films and television shows. His extensive career spans decades featuring roles in movies such as Chinatown, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and Once Upon a Time in America. Throughout his career, Young's authentic performances have earned him critical acclaim, establishing him as a seasoned actor with a distinctive presence on both the big screen and television. So you go ahead and you fill it in. I know you're a big Rocky fan and you know a lot about Burt.
I mean, I love the Rocky film franchise, as you do too. But yeah, that was every actor kind of gets that role, like Matthew Perry with the character on Friends. So every actor kind of gets their role that makes them who they are in the world's eyes. But he was an incredible actor. And anytime you see Burt Young in these other films you mentioned, say, oh yeah, that's him. He's able to become somebody else, as a good actor does in these other films. And he was a really great actor. He was very method too. Like a little side note here, in the first Rocky film, he had arthritis in his hands. He would mention that the work in the meat factory made his hands freeze up and arthritis. So what he did as an actor, really, he put turpentine on his joints to make his joints hurt.
Oh,
his joints would hurt for real to give the proper acting that he had bad hands throughout the film. He's also a boxer in real life, Jay.
I was going to say that, yeah.
If you Google young Burt Young photos, he was quite fit and strong. Yeah, cool guy. He lived to the age of 82, 83. That's an amazing stretch of life. But funny enough, he had problems with alcohol. So despite people like Matthew Perry died at 54, and Burt Young was able to, he drank his whole career almost, and he was quite a drinker. I won't say drunkard. I'm just saying he drank a lot. It's interesting how I guess just DNA is different for everybody, right? So, but he was also an artist. He was a painter too, so you can Google his paintings. So he was very talented artistically, both with paintings, acting, well loved by his co-stars. Just a nice guy too. So just one of those guys. Again, no controversy around him, no craziness, and he painted and he acted. So
he died of cardiac arrest.
His heart gave out after 80 years. Yeah. That's enough. The heart's like, cool. We've had a good run. Time to stop beating. Talk about a heartthrob, Jay. This is, I think, our real first-star heartthrob. Even beyond Tina Turner was a powerful presence on stage. Don't get me wrong, but this was a true. That's Suzanne Summers. Born in 1946, she was a multifaceted American actress, author, and businesswoman who gained prominence for her roles in popular television series, of course, The Three's Company. This is what I like about Suzanne. She left the show. You know why she was fired? Do you remember?
No.
Because she wanted better pay. She wanted to be paid, not necessarily what John Ritter was necessarily getting, but she was like, we're the number one show. And she was getting pittance of a pay, and she felt she deserved more for her role. And they fired her for asking for more money. And Three's Company, for many fans, never felt it was the same. Her replacement was not the same. They just got another blonde actress. Remember her?
Oh.
Exactly. I can see what she looks like, and it's hard to hold a candle to Susanna Summers. I mean, beyond her acting career, Summers ventured into various entrepreneurial endeavors, which that's what really got her the money. So, good for her. She went on to become a business person. She authored a series of best-selling books, including Ageless, The Naked Truth About Bioidentical Hormones, which focuses on health, wellness, and aging gracefully. Summers delved into the wellness industry, promoting health and fitness products and advocating for alternative medicine and natural remedies. Through her diverse ventures, she has carved out a niche as a wellness advocate and a businesswoman, expanding her influence beyond the realm of entertainment. And she was married for the longest time to an individual. So she had like a long-standing marriage too. Like, it just seemed like a healthy person, both physically, mentally, strong marriage. Yeah, if you look at her here, some of her older pictures, she looked great. Yeah, and she was married for the longest time. Like, it's interesting how she kept her last name from her first marriage, Bruce Summers. That's weird. She got divorced in 1968, but kept the name.
Just to do with ease of marketing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she kept the name. She probably didn't get rid of the name, but then she became popular, and then she's like, ugh, I got to keep the name. But she was married to Alan Hamill, Jason, from 1977 to 2023. So her husband, her whole career. Good for them. That's a good, healthy marriage.
Oh, of course. So she died of breast cancer.
Was that? Oh, that's right. That is right. She was worth $100 million when she died. Good for her, with her business and her.
Well,
work.
her businesses. I mean, she became popular through TV, but she made her money on her.
Remember that Squeeze Anything Thigh Master? Wasn't that her?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that really good for?
All right. Rest in peace to Suzanne. Wonderful, bubbly personality. Her Chrissy character in Three's Company is just, you can't help but fall in love with that ditzy blonde.
But she was perfect at it, honestly.
Yeah.
She was a great actress in that show. And that was.
Yeah. Because she's not dumb. She's very intelligent. No. And she played that role perfectly. Yeah. All right. No big November deaths. So we're going right to December, Jason. You've got this one.
Yeah. Ryan O'Neal, born on April 20th, 1941 in Los Angeles, California, is an esteemed American actor recognized for his roles in both television and film. He rose to prominence in performances in iconic films such as Love Story, earning him widespread acclaim and recognition. Throughout his career, O'Neal showcased his versatility by taking on diverse roles, changing from dramas to comedy, solidifying his status as a prominent figure in Hollywood. Beyond his film achievements, he ventured into television, starring in series like Pay and Place and Good Sports. While O'Neal's professional accomplishments garnered attention, his personal life, marked by relationships with notable figures like Farrah Fawcett, also made headlines. Despite challenges, O'Neal's dedication to his craft and memorable performances have left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. I think it was a heart attack, congestive heart failure.
Yeah, and he was
82.
Yeah. Funny enough, I asked mom and dad, I don't know how old I was, where they got the name Ryan from. They said they didn't know anyone named Ryan since 1975, except for the actor Ryan O'Neal. So his name has always kind of stuck with me because of that.
Okay.
I wasn't say I was named after Ryan O'Neal, the actor. I'm sure mom and dad loved the movie Love Story that came out when they were young adults. I'm sure they watched it, enjoyed it. I mean, Ryan O'Neal was the big actor at the time when they were young.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not necessarily named after him, like I said, but
no, but I mean, that could be a name
that's stuck in their head.
Yeah. Mom and dad apparently didn't know anybody named Jason. And now, like, it was probably from 1972 to, I was born in 73, but you go to any establishment and you go, like, there's ages, people born in 72 to, say, 80, hundreds and thousands of Jasons. There's always 2 or 3 Jasons in every classroom. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's weird. All right. The next name, again, if you Googled this actor, Jay, you'd recognize his face. You might have to. I knew the name by the name Andre Braugher. I think I've seen his last name properly, to be honest with you. I don't know if I've ever heard it verbally said to me, but I've seen it on screen many times. Andre Braugher, he was born July 1st, 1962 in Chicago. He was a distinguished American actor celebrated for his versatile performance across TV, film, and stage. He gained widespread acclaim and several Emmy nominations for his portrayal of Detective Frank Pembleton in the critically acclaimed television series Homicide: Life on the Street. Great series. Throughout his illustrious career, though, Braugher showcased his acting prowess by seamlessly transitioning between dramatic and comedic roles. Of course, he was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. absolutely freaking hilarious on that show. It's just so funny against type, and his delivery of lines was just stellar. However, I also became a fan of him when he played in the movie Glory with Matthew Broderick. He was one of the main soldiers in Glory along Denzel Washington. So anytime he's done anything since Glory, because I saw that when I was like 15, and I was like, that guy's a good actor. It's a face that has stuck with me all my life, right? So when he passed away, it's like, wow, man, that's a guy that I've enjoyed on screen for years. His performances have earned him accolades and a reputation for delivering compelling characters with depth and authenticity. Apart from his notable TV work, Brower has also graced the stage and appeared in various films, consistently demonstrating his range as an actor. His dedication to the craft and ability to captivate audiences across different genres has solidified his esteemed status in the entertainment industry. So again, yeah, I'm one of those people who have enjoyed him as an actor. This is another actor who's like, man, I've enjoyed this guy. This is a guy that has made me laugh and he's made me cry in Glory. Like, this is a good actor. He did what you're supposed to do as an entertainer. He entertained me. Sad.
Died young. Holy, 61.
Yeah. Did it say cause of death by chance?
Yeah, lung cancer.
He might have been a smoker. He sounded like he had a smoking voice.
He did years ago, but apparently not more recently.
Caught up to him.
I suppose, yeah.
All right. So when I made this list, Jason, I actually made this list about, a week before the year ended. I had it all ready to go. But Jason, this is why we don't record before December 31st. This is why we don't do it. We had two more people say, hey guys, wait. Can I join the list?
Yeah, Tom Smothers. You remember the
oh yeah,
the Smothers brothers. I loved watching their little skits. They had
acoustic guitars and
the variety show. Remember their variety show?
Like, we watched Johnny Carson as kids. I swear we saw them on Johnny Carson a lot too. That was
like they would come out and do their shtick, right? Tom Smothers, and they're only a year apart. Him, his brother Dick Smothers, they're only a year apart. So he is the older of the two. So Tom Smothers is one part of the famous Smother Brothers comedy duo, and he passed away at 86.
Yeah, full life.
His brother Dick Smothers revealed in a statement from the National Comedy Center that Tom passed away at his residence after a recent struggle with cancer.
Oof.
Dick fondly remembered Tom saying, Tom wasn't just the caring elder brother anyone would wish for. He was an unparalleled creative collaborator. I feel deeply fortunate to have shared over 6 decades with him, both on and off the stage. He added, our bond was akin to fulfilling marriage. Our admiration, affection for each other grew with time. We were genuinely fortunate.
That's sweet. So good for them to make that work for years and decades and like intimately perform together. It's a very intimate collaboration.
I remember just having fun watching them do their shticks on TV. They were always funny and entertaining.
Yeah, they were always funny.
Yeah.
There was something that our grandparents enjoyed. Very generational performances. Yeah, rest in peace to Tom. And speaking of Tom, we got another Tom. The last death of 2023, Jay. This is an actor everyone knows by name, I think. Tom Wilkinson. He was the acclaimed actor recognized for his roles in films like The Full Monty, Shakespeare in Love, and Michael Clayton, all films I've seen. He passed away on December 30th at the age of 75. His passion for acting and directing was sparked during his time with the Drama Society at the University of Kent. This interest propelled him to join London's esteemed Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Before gaining prominence, he showcased his talent on various British TV shows for about 20 years. However, his breakthrough came with the 1997 film The Full Monty, earning him a BAFTA award. Over his career, Wilkinson received Oscar nominations for his roles in The Bedroom and Michael Clayton. Additionally, he secured a Golden Globe and an Emmy for portraying Benjamin Franklin in the miniseries John Adams. Was he not also in Batman? Remember he played that corrupt mob guy in the Batman Begins film? Probably one of his biggest movies according to box office, right? Was Batman Begins.
Batman.
He played that side role of this really corrupt mob guy. So what was his cause of death? I don't know.
He just died suddenly at his home.
Maybe that hasn't been revealed yet. We'll keep you posted, folks. Keep your ear to the ground on our worst the best socials. So
feels ominous sometimes when they say suddenly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess it's better than saying he died a slow and painful death, I guess. Okay, wow. This is a big list. This is going to be tough. I don't think there's anyone there's no one that's really caused issues or any kind of notoriously bad people on this list. Person that maybe had the worst behavior off screen was the Iron Sheik. His behavior off screen, he just kind of laugh is harmless, but he's kind of a character. So I'm going to go through the names just really quickly. For me, I'm just going to pick the one that kind of affected me the most, but this was going to be tough. We got David Crosby, Jeff Beck, Lisa Marie Presley, Julian Sands, Burt Bacharach, Lance Reddick, Tom Sizemore, Jerry Springer, Tina Turner, the Iron Sheik, Sinead O'Connor, Tony Bennett, Sir Michael Gambon, Jimmy Buffett, Steve Harwell, Matthew Perry, Burt Young, Susan Summers, Ryan O'Neal, Andre Brower, Tom Wilkinson, and Tom Smothers. Jay, are you ready for your worst pick of 2023?
So this is the person that we will miss the most?
I think that's what I'm going with. I'm going with the one with what's the greatest loss, the saddest loss for me. For me, it was Matthew Perry. I think of all these ones, his passing was like, huh? I don't think anyone was surprised because he struggled with his addictions. But when it did finally happen, he didn't get it figured out. Had he not gone down this road, that's what makes it sad. He's like the Chris Farley in the sense. Had he not been addicted and had these demons, he would have such an amazing career. I think of all the Friends stars, he could have had a really legit comedy career and dramatic actor. He showcased his dramatic abilities in some TV shows afterwards. He was a really good actor, and he was actually a very good comedic actor. And so he had the most potential to really be something. At the end of the day, addictions destroyed his life and his career. And so that's the saddest nail in the coffin loss on Matthew Perry. The biggest star for me, of course, was Burt Young, but it wasn't sad because he was 82. He lived a full life, gave me a lot of entertainment. So his passing wasn't like, no, not Burt Young. You know, it's got, well, he was 82. He had a great life.
They're not writing him back into the Creed scripts.
No, his career was pretty much over due to age and whatever else, his capabilities to act and age. It's just normal. But there's big names on here. Tina Turner. So the one that affected me the most, like, that sucks too soon, was Matthew Perry.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
I feel even more than Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry, I think, had the opportunity to have more outreach available to him. There's a sympathy or empathy around him, possibly a better support group. Sinead O'Connor was really, like you say, the word ostracized. I know she had struggles trying to see her children, and that could be because they were trying to protect the children from her. That didn't help with her mental illness, was when she doesn't have access to her children and she wants access to her children to be able to see them. I'm sure that would just propel her even further into the chaos that she was feeling in her life. I legit liked her. I liked her music, not just Nothing Compares to You. I mean, that's just the song that people will be more closely recognized with her. But she has some amazing songs despite just having that Nothing Compares to You song. There's others. She spoke her mind, tearing apart that picture on Saturday Night Live, the Pope John Paul picture. She did what she felt she needed to get the message. And here we are. I mean, how many years later did the abuse of children by the Catholics became exposed and just kind of common knowledge? And no one said, yeah, Sinead, you had a message worth listening to. There was a problem. You were trying to highlight the problem, but people hated her for telling the truth or trying to expose the truth. I have a deep empathy for her. Her life ended up being very tragic in my eyes. And so that's why I pick her. Yeah, I pick her because of that.
Oh, very well said, Jay. Wow.
Thank you.
All right.
On that note,
we would like to thank all our celebrities who died in 2023 for allowing us to have such a great show today. What will 2024 bring? I can't wait. It never disappoints every year. This was a big year, though. I think this year seemed to be particularly big names. So it'll be interesting to see what 2024 brings. Let's keep our fingers crossed. We get some big names. Jay, with that, remember, in front of every silver lining, there's a cloud. Today, for Ryan, it was Matthew Perry. And for Jason, it was Sinead O'Connor. Rest in peace to everyone. And